हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So everyone able to see the screen, yeah? We'll recite this before we start.
Yes, Mataji.
Nana Shastra Vicharanayka Nipunao Saddharma Samstapakao Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyao Sharanaikarao राधा कृष्ण पदारविंद भजना ज्ञानेन्द्रेण मत्तैलिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ प्रत्युत श्रीजीव गोपालकौ. Do we also do translation of that, Mataji, of that verse? Shall we do? Or
Yes, Mataji.
yeah. So would you like to recite, Mataji, translation?
Yes, Mataji.
The second one, can you see here?
Yes, Mataji, I can see. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Danda Pranam. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principle for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are observed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So I stop sharing the screen. I'll go to the thing. Share this one. Okay. Can you see this now?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So we are now. Yes. So we are now in the first chapter, right? Characteristics of pure devotional service, and earlier we did one of the characteristics, right? So we're starting with just briefly going through that there are 4 divisions in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So the Eastern, Western, Northern, and Southern, and then we are now focusing on Eastern, Samanya Bhakti, general description of Bhakti. There we are into Uttama Bhakti. So understanding those Uttama Bhakti devotees, Uttama Bhakti means the devotees are having the characteristics of this Uttama Bhakti. The Lakshana means those qualities. So Uttama Bhakti Lakshana means are the unique characteristics of pure devotional service that are described in this first chapter. So that characteristics which a devotees are having, that will establish supreme position of bhakti in them. So whoever has this Uttama Bhakti unto the Lord, they will have all good qualities of demigods, of devatas, like that mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 8, verse 12. It's quoted in the book as well in the first chapter. So we have 6 qualities of Uttama Bhakti. So these are the qualities. Should anyone would like to recite this verse?
Can I read Hare Krishna? Kleshagni Shubhada Moksha Laguta Krutta Sudurlabaha Sandranda Visheshatma Sri Krishna Karshani Chasa. And the translation is: the unique characteristics of bhakti are its ability to destroy suffering, its bestowal of auspiciousness, its disregard for liberation, its rarity of attainment, its manifestation of concentrated bliss, and its ability to attract Krishna.
Yeah. So Kleshagni Subhadha Moksha Laguta Krut Sudurlabha Sandrananta Visheshatma Sri Krishna Karshani Chasa. So Kleshagni destroys, material suffering. Yeah. So that is at the level of prema, and then Shubhada bestows auspiciousness. So these are like, Kleshagni and Shubhada. There are bestows auspiciousness. Moksha Lagutakrita disregards liberation. Means we are going to discuss these two today. I'll go in detail later. Sudurlabha, rarely attained. Sandranatma Visheshatma manifests condensed bliss, and Sri Krishna Karshini Chasa attracts Krishna. So 6 characteristics are like this. So Klesha Agni destroys material suffering has already been covered, right? So that is at the level of prema, and Shubhada also at the level of prema only. And Moksha Lagutakrita and Sudurlabha, they are rarely attained, and they are at the level of bhava. And Sandranandra Visheshatma and Sri Krishna Sankirtan, Sri Krishna Karshinicha attracts Krishna. So sadhana level there. So Subhada is what we are now going to focus on today's session, because earlier, I think yesterday you have covered the Klesha Agni part, right? So this particular verse is concerning Subhada part. So bestows auspiciousness. Subhani Prinanam Sarva Jagatam Anuraktata Sadgunaha Sukam Iti Adinim Akyatani Manishibi. So what does that mean? Subhanim Prananam Subhanim Prinanam Sarva Jagatam Anuraktata. So Sarva Jagatam Prinanam means someone who is compassionate for everyone in this material world, or they are really, really concerned about you were ever well wisher, like our Srila Prabhupada. So Anuraktata attracts everyone. And Sadgunaha Pradhatho means bestows all good qualities. So those devotees who are having this, qualities of compassion to everyone and attracting everyone, they get manifested all good qualities which are there in demigods, like that. And then Sukha Pradatvam, they bestow superior happiness to them. So in that we have happiness, 3 types of happiness we do get. Happiness from material things, happiness from Brahman realization, happiness from the performing services to the Supreme Lord. So like that. So we'll go in detail. Like if you think about Sarva Jagatam Prinanam, someone who is compassion to everyone, we know Mrugari's pastime. So when Mrugari is the one who is actually trying to kill the animals and birds only half way through their life. So not completely killing them. Shooting the arrows in such a way that they are struggling to die. So this was noticed by Narad Muni, and then Narad Muni preached him, and then Mugari got transformed. And from then onwards, he was actually became so compassionate to each and every living entity that even he was not even stamping on the ants on his way when he was walking. Like one time when Narad Muni, after he got transformed, he was living a life of a hermitage, in the hermitage like a monk. And then when Narada Muni instructed him, don't worry, you will get food from everyone. And then he listened to his guru's instruction and followed. And then all the villagers looked after Mugari. He's leading a nice, happy spiritual life like that. And then one time, Parvata Muni and Narad Muni comes to his hermitage. And then at that time, Mrugari was actually not even stamping on the ants. He wants to pay obeisances to them, but he is trying to get rid of these ants on his way from using his chadar or things like that. So he became very compassionate to everyone. Earlier he was not interested in understanding the sufferings of other living entities, but later he became so much compassionate. So like that, we have Anuraktata means someone who attracts everyone. So we have example of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, when he went to USA, he established our Krishna conscious movement, and he has done, after a few years, he has come to the point where he thinks now it's time to go to India. I mean, he has got a big mission to do, so that he wants to continue his activities. So he mentioned to his devotees, their disciples there, that I will now go to India. Then, the disciples, like Janaki Mataji and Mukund Prabhu, they are like Prabhupada's daughter and son, like that. They are like a heart of our movement. They gave their life and soul to Prabhupada to establish the movement. So then Mataji was totally into tears, and she actually tried to what is that? Hide Prabhupada's ticket to go. So this is the attraction Prabhupada had for them. Like, he could attract in that old age also. Generally, old people means not much consideration is given. But here, Prabhupada, when he preached to the Westerners at that time, he got attracted to them because his purity, his spiritual wisdom really attracted them. And then they didn't want to lose even a moment of his association like that. So he is someone who attracts a devotee, attracts everyone like that. And then that devotee, who gets all kinds of what is that? Good qualities. They get bestowed with good qualities. So good qualities are, generally everyone. It's hard to get all the good qualities. We do understand, right? So let's say, if there is a mango which is a raw mango or ripened mango, we all prefer a ripe mango, right? Not a raw mango. So good qualities are like that. So for a devotee, good qualities are like a decoration to our body. So whenever you see any devotee, we should be in a mood to glorify them or observe what they are, how they are advancing their spiritual life, like that. So if you do like that, when we are observing or when the other devotees are growing in their spiritual life, we will get purification. So someone who is like, completely engaged in chanting Mahamantra, reading Srila Prabhupada books, their heart gets cleansed over a period of time. And then all the, material, all the good qualities manifest in them. So like that, you would notice that, our devotees are very kind, they are tolerant, they're compassionate, all those qualities which we heard in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that amanitvam, adambitvam, like that, they are not, they are pridelessness, they are humble, they extend their help and support to everybody, going out of their comfort zone, and they are, having unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. Like that, they surrender to Guru. So these are all qualities you see in devotees who are actually manifesting those good qualities. So like that. And then we have, if you have all that, then what's the next thing coming up to? That is the next thing, which is the fourth point in this one, is Sukham Pradatvam, means all auspiciousness is coming to them. So bestow superior happiness to them. Yeah. So there are many types of happiness. We have happiness in this material world, happiness in heavenly planets, like that. But there is something, the happiness which you cannot comprehend, that is beyond this material world, which is called, Brahmananda, like that. And then there is also, moksha. So in that, there is no tinge of, in Brahmananda, there is something beyond Brahmananda also. Brahmananda is like, when someone is trying to merge in the effulgence of the Lord, like that. But there is something beyond that which is considered as Premananda, which we get in spiritual world. So the devotees have got, bhakti to the Lord. They actually like to render service to the Lord. And when the Lord sees this, this aspect of bhakti in the devotees, he becomes happy. And then, when devotees are performing that seva, and they get that higher taste, that is, prema. And then that produces a lot of happiness to them, sukham. So that you don't get just like, this sukham is considered beyond our expectations, like that. See, in this material world, we seek pleasure in everything. Like according to Srila Prabhupada, there is eating, mating is there in defending, all these things, propensities are there in everyone. So even in lower species also there. So, but when we compare to this happiness which we get in Brahmananda, even in material pleasure, it's just only a drop of pleasure. But this happiness, when we compare to Brahmananda, that happiness is just more than a drop. Like, if a calf's hoof print is covered with a pool of water, how much it is, that much. Yeah. But if it is, if the premananda aspect of pleasure is beyond this, you cannot compare. It's not just in a handful of, drop of waters like that. It is beyond that, which is like a vast ocean of fully immersed in bhakti. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj actually mentions in his prayers also, like that. Yeah. So this, someone who is very compassionate to everyone, someone who attracts everyone, someone is having someone who is having good qualities like that, and someone who is best or superior happiness. These are all considered as our whatever we are discussing today, that all auspiciousness. So Krishna conscious is in all auspiciousness, like that. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada says in the verse also like this. Anyone can see and read this one? Are you able to see my screen?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So these particular points are mentioned in the paragraphs which we are going to discuss. So I would like to I condensed like this so we can go through them. So would you like to read? So this covers these two topics, like someone who is compassionate for everyone and someone who attracts everyone. So Ramakrishna Prabhu, Ramakrishna.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada on this verse. Srila Rupa Goswami has given a definition of auspiciousness. He says that actual auspiciousness means welfare activities for all the people of the world. The Krishna consciousness movement is so nice that it can render the highest benefit to that entire human race. Everyone can be attracted by this movement and everyone can feel the result. Therefore, Rupa Goswami and other learned scholars agree that a broad propaganda program for the Krishna consciousness movement of devotional service all over the world is the highest humanitarian welfare activity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are trying to understand these two aspects of compassion for everyone and someone who attracts everyone. So as I said, like, we discussed about Mrugari and Srila Prabhupada. Now, when you think about, the same aspect in those same lines, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us this. When he came to this material world in the human form, he taught us that, how to develop these qualities. And he showed it when he actually, personally went to Jharkhand forest. Yeah, Mahaprabhu, when he went along with his servant, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, while going on his way to Jharkhand forest, he was actually, preaching to the animals. So all the animals were like, on the way in the forest, they raised their hands and danced like, followed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sankirtan movement. Like they're doing like how we do street Harinam, like that. All the animals are doing with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Krishna conscious is best welfare activity because, just how he is, able to even inspire these animals. So these animals afterwards also followed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he left that place, and then he went to do his, oblations like Sandhyavandan, like that in the nearby river. All the animals followed, and especially the wild elephants. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he just sprinkled water on them, they continued chanting, roaring like anything. So he taught everybody, even the lower species, also to chant Mahamantra. So this is the welfare activity which we all can think of following in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Krishna consciousness is the best welfare activity. Let's say if you're trying to feed some food to someone, one day if you give someone who is in need of food, we'll give food. But that will not completely satisfy him. That is only for that time being. After the food digests, that's it. Next day again he's in need of food, right? So like that it will go on next day, next week, next month, next year. It goes on like that. But someone might say, instead of just giving a prasadam to that person, if you can provide a job, he will self-sustain and you will not worry like that providing every day. But that's not going to solve the problem for his life. Because we are entangled in this material world. We are all conditioned souls, entangled, and life after life, birth, death, old age, diseases. We are constantly getting battling with these problems. Yeah. So whereas if you give a Krishna conscious life to that person, and when he start chanting and reading Srila Prabhupada books, his heart gets cleansed. That is the solution to the problem, right? And Krishna also gives, he states in Bhagavad Gita, he said in 9th chapter, 22nd verse, he said, anyone knows that verse? What did he say?
चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहामि.
Yeah, so those who always worship me with devotion, meditating on transcendental form, I carry what they lack, I preserve what they have. So Krishna gives to them like that. So best service in Krishna to us is to give Krishna consciousness to the suffering conditions, so that they get out of this material miseries of birth, death, old age, disease, and then they get all these good qualities, sadgunas. So this is what we are aiming for. So the sadgunas, good qualities, are like we see all these good qualities are manifested in demigods. There are exalted qualities. So one who develop this unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Krishna, those will get these kind of good qualities. It's like I said, ripened mango and raw mango. The ripened mango is that mango where all the devotees are manifesting all those 20 elements of knowledge which Krishna gave in 13th chapter. That 8 to 12 verses we have, where all 20 elements were discussed in detail. You all must have gone through all that. So these qualities are very important for us. If there is no qualities in us, then we are as good as considered as animals. So like that. So Krishna conscious movement, according to Srila Prabhupada in this verse, is that Srila Goswami and other learned scholars, what they are propagating is that Krishna conscious movement is for movement is devotional service movement, and it is highest welfare activity which we all can do. Yeah, so giving charity or performing sacrifices, they're all temporary benefits. You won't get anything. But this is something which is beyond that, which we are seeking. So beyond moksha it is, beyond liberation it is. So like that. So saguna pravadata means bestows all good qualities. So again, Srila Prabhupada in the paragraphs of this particular topic mentioned these points. Anybody wants to read these points?
Can I read?
Yes.
Sadagunadi pradatvam, bestows of quality. Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto 8 chapter 12th verse. Srila Prabhupada on this verse. On the other hand, a person who is not in Krishna consciousness has no good qualities. He may be highly educated from the academic point of view, but in the actual field of his activities, he can be seen to be baser than the animals. Even though a person is highly educated academically, if he cannot go beyond the sphere of mental activities, then he is sure to perform only material activities and thus remain impure. There are so many persons in the modern world who have been highly educated in materialistic universities, but it is seen that they cannot take up the movement of Krishna consciousness and develop the higher qualities of the demigods.
Yeah, so like that, Prabhupada has given in the book also, in the first chapter, where Prabhupada has mentioned an example about a Krishna conscious boy. So anyone has a book with them, like this first chapter, we've got what para? It's under Krishna conscious is all auspiciousness. There, Prabhupada has quoted an example. Someone would like to read that? For an example, a Krishna conscious boy, even if he is not well educated by the university standard, that particular thing. Is anyone able to look into the book?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I read?
Yes. Yes, Mataji, please.
For example, a Krishna conscious boy, even if he is not very well educated by the university standard, can immediately give up all illicit sex like gambling, eating, and intoxication. Whereas those who are not in Krishna consciousness, although very highly educated, are often drunkards, impoters, sex smokers, and gamblers. These are practical proofs of Krishna conscious person because highly developed in good quality, whereas the person who is not in Krishna consciousness cannot do so. We experience that even a boy in Krishna consciousness is unattached to cinema, nightclubs, naked dance show, restaurants, liquor shops, etc. He becomes completely free. He saves his valuable time from being extravagant. He spends in the way of smoking, drinking, attending the theatre, and dancing. Very good.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yeah, so here it is very clear. Prabhupada gave an example there. Someone who is not even completely properly educated is okay. Still, what he can do is, he can get away of all these unwanted things in his mind, that illicit sex, gambling, meat eating, intoxication. These can be gone away from his mind by just practicing devotional service. But people who are not into Krishna consciousness, for them, even though they are highly educated, maybe they would have done a doctorate or scientist or whatever, maybe by scholarly qualification they must have got, but they will become prone to addict to all these kind of problems, meat eating, gambling, drinking, and all that, and then they may also prone to the cinemas, nightclubs, and all that. But Krishna conscious boy, even if they are young also, if they are kaumaram acharit prajno, that we hear, right, from the young age, old age, from 5 years young age, if you start practicing, this imprint in their mind, and they will not be thinking about deviating from all these influences and getting trapped like that. So they become completely freed because of the process they invite, and it saves in the long run, it saves their time from wasting their time, and then they will be saved from this pool of material miseries like birth, death, old age, diseases continuously going, and then moving from one life to other life in different species. This is completely stopped like that. Yeah, so it is the proof is that Krishna conscious persons are highly developed in good qualities, whereas person who is not in Krishna consciousness, they cannot stop doing these kind of things. So they will waste their time in doing all sorts of things which are not good for their spiritual growth, like that. Yeah. So, and in the following verse, in the following paragraph, also Prabhupada further continued saying that there are these mystic powers which someone get acquiring some different siddhis. That also it is easy for the Krishna conscious person, they will get, like how Lord Shiva was telling to Mother Parvati here. The paragraph is before here in Tantra Shastra. It is mentioned in the just exactly under happiness in Krishna conscious section. You see, in Tantra Shastra, Lord Shiva speaks to his wife, Sati, and he says, "My dear wife, a person who has surrendered himself to a lotus feet of Govinda and who has developed pure Krishna consciousness can be very easily awarded all the perfections desired by impersonalists and beyond this. So he can enjoy happiness achieved by the pure devotees." So this is also, bhakti gives happiness. So those happiness get through material things, those we happiness which people getting through Brahman realization, or those happiness from serving the Supreme Lord, like that. So Siddhi, Mukti, Bhukti, and Siddhikamis, all of them is getting, but Bhakti has got everything. If you have Bhakti, all these three aspects they automatically follow. So you don't need to endeavor separately. While the happiness of Bhakti is eternal, but these happiness of Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhis, they are all temporary, inferior. So there is a chance of falling down also from this kind of siddhis. We are some people try to get it. So there are 8 types of mystic perfections, siddhis, the yogis attain. So there are in the paragraphs it's mentioned that, someone is like the anima, means they become smaller, and then they enter into a stone, like that. And then someone will get a siddhi of lagima. That means they're becoming so light and float in the air or water. So these are siddhis, they get to the austerities, but that is just temporary in material benefits only. They are not compared to, there are material enjoyments only. Yeah, so Then there is someone who may get some prapti, means acquire something, like, going on the moon and landing on the moon, like that, and so on. So these are all siddhis which are considered material only. But highly educated people, people who are maybe scholarly, and then some impersonal sannyasis, like that, they may get some kind of do some political or social activities, and they may derive so much of happiness in them. Or someone who impersonalists who are trying to become one with the Lord and then attain this impersonal Brahman feature. But they are not fully Krishna consciousness, and then they will after some time, what will happen, they will again, chance of falling down is there, because they are not getting anything there. They are only trying to partial realization of the Lord is happening, and they're only hearing sound vibration, and after some time there is no activity, there is no seva to do there, and they get bored and they have to come back, like that. So but if you have bhakti, all other aspects are included in bhakti. So happiness derived, someone wants to read this one, Virendra.
Yes, I have a question. I have a nectar of devotion in my home, but the Sanskrit words that you have mentioned, I don't have that type of like Sanskrit translation, means Sanskrit words with the translation. So where can I get such type of nectar of devotion book? Means having Sanskrit words and the translation. I am not getting that type of book anywhere in ISKCON like that.
Okay. So these are actually, I got the slides from ISKCON Desire. I can share them. I can share in the group.
Okay, I wonder like actual Sanskrit words with that nectar of devotion, the translation purpose, because Prabhupada has just written the book, but I wonder original Sanskrit if I'll get those verses.
Yeah, sure. Prabhupada has given this nectar of devotion as a Krishna book for us, so that it's hard for us to understand. So that's why Sanskrit verses are not completely given, but these Sanskrit verses are there in all the Goswami's books which they have written, and then our senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada has translated some of the books. In those books you will have them. And the book which is, if you have this book, this is His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu has written. If you don't have this book, I would highly recommend to have this book. In this book, these verses are there.
What is the book, Mataji? What is the book?
This is Bhakti Rasamrita Subodhini. Can you see this? When I stop sharing, maybe if I stop share and you may be able to see this. Can you see this book?
No, Mataji, not clear.
Share on the group afterwards. You please share on the group afterwards.
Yeah, the cover of the book.
It's actually Subodhini. We have Bhagavad Gita Subodhini, Bhagavatam Subodhini. You all are aware of that?
No,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
You're not aware of that.
G.V. Vada devotee has written, G.V. Vada. I know.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Some of them, and some of them I've got from His Grace Radhesham Prabhu slides also. You will get some of the verses. So they're all bona fide verses. Don't worry. Yeah. Is it clear, Prabhuji?
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, this book is very nice book. I will post this book. I will take a picture of this book and put it in the group. It's very nice book. If you don't have, I would highly recommend you all to buy this. Have a copy of this book.
Yeah, Mataji.
So, yes, Mataji. Yeah. Anybody would like to read these things that these are concerning about the happiness, the.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please read.
Srila Prabhupada on this verse. Happiness derived from pure devotional service is the highest because it is eternal. It has been seen that great Mayavadi impersonalist sannyasis, very highly educated and almost realized souls, may sometimes take to political activities or to social welfare activities. The reason is that they actually do not derive any ultimate transcendental happiness in the impersonal understanding and therefore must come down to the material platform and take to such mundane affairs. But a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness will never return to any sort of material platform. However, alluring and attracting they may be, he always knows that no material welfare activities can compare to the spiritual activity of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So someone who actually, these impersonalists and highly educated scholars, sometimes, they may reach to a certain level, but they will come down to this material platform because they just, come down and they will do some philanthropic work or, some social works or some political activities. So they will become like a famous people like that. But, a person who is fully observed in Krishna consciousness with all those qualities, he is compassionate to everyone. He's got, attractive to everyone, and he has got all those qualities manifested as we see in demigods and all those, tolerant, compassion, humility is there, and they go beyond their capacity or, comfort zone to help everybody. So all these qualities you see in devotees, they're all manifested from their practice of Krishna consciousness. So that they are observed fully in the devotional service to the Lord, and they tend to show those qualities so that they inspire others to those qualities. So this is like, when someone, how much ever this material world is alluring or attracting to them, they will not, glide down to those activities, because there's nothing compared to the spiritual activities which we do in our process of performing Krishna consciousness activities. So it's just, I said before, like, a drop of water is Brahmananda, just a drop of water. But if you have that, more than a drop, it is like beyond this expectation which you are having, that hoof of a cough, can carry that much. So, but if it is like, beyond that, if you have a bhakti in your heart through the process of chanting and reading scriptures, taking association of the devotees, then, your heart get cleansed, all the anarthas goes, and then at that point, what happens is you will be able to completely, get purified from the heart, and then the bhakti manifest in you, and you will hanker for doing services to the Lord. When you do the services to the Lord, Krishna will be pleased, Guru will be pleased. When Krishna Guru pleases, then, all happiness is bestowed, all superior happiness is bestowed to you. So that is bhakti. Bhakti has got everything in it. You don't need to specially endeavor for mukti, bhukti, and, or siddhis and all that. You don't need to get all that. If you have this, there's nothing compared to the spiritual activity of Krishna consciousness. That is what it is. The happiness derived from performing this devotional is highest, and it is eternal, like that. So other things which other people do, they have not much in compared to what we have. Yeah. So the fourth aspect has got some more points from the book, this chapter. So someone else can read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada on this verse. Actually, a pure devotee does not aspire after any of these perfections, because the happiness derived from devotional service in Krishna consciousness is so transcendental and so unlimited that no other happiness can compare to it. It is said that even one drop of happiness in Krishna consciousness stands beyond comparison with an ocean of happiness derived from any other activity. Thus, any person who has developed even a little quantity of pure devotional service can very easily kick out all the other kinds of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Example, CM offered everything to
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sorry, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered everything to Kolavecha
Sridhara.
Kolavecha Sridhara, but he rejected everything. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So we'll go a little bit in more understanding of this. So what I was trying to say is that when you get the good qualities manifested in that, then you will not aspire to get anything. So here, when you think about that, we have this pastime is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kulavecha Sridhara. Anyone is aware of this personality? Heard before the pastime?
Yes, Mataji. He is a banana seller. He was a banana seller.
So he's just selling those bananas, banana cups, right? Not bananas, actually, isn't it? He's just selling. So Chaitanya, the Kulavecha Sridhara is a very poor man, and he's got a very small business of selling cups made of these banana leaves, plantain leaves. And then that's the source of income he's getting, actually, nothing else. So he will, after getting that, he'll spend 50% of all of his income in worshipping Ganges only, and then he will offer another 50% to his living, and then and then like that, he is just not totally miserly like that with his income. Is very poor man, but still he has got like that. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually once offered him, he said, he actually asked him, your heart is like, has got so many holes on it, and the dhoti which you are wearing, he has got more holes than what a heart is having. See, look about the people other people who are doing the businesses, they are worshipping Mother Kali and, Durga and all, and they are excelling in their business, getting lots of, nice profits and all that. Why don't you do so? It's just inspire him like that. And then he says, don't bother me like this. I don't want anything. I'm happy wherever I am. I don't want anything. He just keeps on asking him like that. He never says. One time he sent his disciple, and then he asked him to come to that today, is like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing as a Mahaprakash Bhava happens. That time, he actually wanted to give benedictions to everyone, and he wanted to give something to this Kulavich Sridhara. He invites him to come. And then he says, he offered him so much of opulence. But he said, see, I've informed you already. I don't want any material opulence. I'm quite happy in whatever situation I am. And I don't want anything. Only I want to praise that. Please give me that unflinching faith and devotion to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Nothing else. I want to be in the position of a pure devotee. Please engage me 24 hours every day in devotional service like that. I don't want anything. Let me continue to sell this. And you please come and buy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to bargain with him, and he said, you just come and bother me like this. I don't have any problem. I'm happy to serve you. I don't want happiness in neither happiness or liberation. I just don't want to become one with Supreme. Nothing. I want to only perform devotional service like that. So he is not interested in anything of any opulences or anything like that. So someone who is best off with pure happiness, or complete happiness, or after getting all those good qualities, the superior happiness is this only. The devotees don't hanker for getting anything. All we want is only service to the Lord, nothing else. That is pure devotees aspirations. They don't want anything else other than whatever as things. It's just if the Lord gives something, they ask only for devotion service. That is what Kulavich Sridhara was asking. So we don't want. Even we see from Damodar prayers also what Satyavrata Muni was telling. Anyone remember that verse which relate to this?
कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुतैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितो भक्ति भाजो कृतै च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामी प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरे.
Damodareha. And there is one more also, Mataji. That is right. But there is
Yes, I
Varam
know.
De Moksham Na
वरमोक्षं
एव मोक्षं न वाक्षं वदिम न चान्यं वृणीहं परे सादपेहम्.
Yeah. So he says that I don't want any boon, right? I don't want any boon, no, not many material benedictions, nothing. Only I want to is to see you are that Gopala Bala form eternally every time, nothing else. You just, that should go in front of my eyes all the time. That's the desire they have. So pure devotees have got all those four, lakshanas, means qualities like these four. I hope you all got it, yeah? Sarva Jagat Prinana means compassion to everyone, attracts everyone. For them, all the good qualities are bestowed in them. And then the superior happiness is also bestowed to them. So that happiness which they don't.
One more
Yes.
verse in Shishashtaka. Na dhanam na janam na kavitam na jagadish kamay mama janmani janmanishwarya bhaktat bhavatat ahituki.
Ahituki. Yeah. That is also to some extent, similar verse. So these are like beautiful verses where, we can contemplate or meditate on, like, what are those, all auspiciousness for us. Auspiciousness in Krishna consciousness is these things. So the best thing which we all can do, the best welfare activity is to preach Krishna conscious to everyone. And then, give them the Maha Mantra to chant that cleanses their heart. And then they study Srila Prabhupada books, then their good qualities manifest. by observing devotees and then by practicing both ways, then good qualities you will acquire. And then the superior happiness is what is to serve the Lord only, nothing else. So we don't aspire anything else, or we don't get distracted or influenced by other mundane attractions or allurements which material world or material energy is giving us. Maya Shakti is trying to provide. So all our slowly desires will go away. All this kind of enjoyment desires go away. It's like that. Sorry.
I have a question that you can ask. I have a question.
Can you take question in the end if you don't mind?
Okay.
I'll just, you can write it or maybe remember, Prabhu, if you don't mind. Is that okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the part which we are trying to understand on, Bhakti bestows these 4 types of auspiciousness. So that is Shubhada, benefits everyone, attracts everyone, bestows all good qualities, and also gives superior happiness, like that. So then we are going to the next one, next characteristic, which is moksha lagutakrata. That means bhakti makes liberation, that's insignificant. There's you don't really feel like you want to get moksha, like in those lines which we were discussing before. It's like that. Yeah. So who knows what is the difference between moksha, mukti and moksha?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Mukti is Sayajya Mukti, Mataji, getting
all 5 types. Yeah. 5 types of, yeah.
Getting merged with Sayajya, with the Brahman effulgence, Mataji.
Yeah. Moksha?
Moksha is like serving the Supreme Lord, Samipya. Like that, Mataji. Salokya, Sarupya,
yeah, all other 4, yeah. So like that. So when the bhakti is there, then everything is there. So like that. So let's say as a simple example, if I say that if a queen is there in the palace and then the queen is invited somewhere, and then all the maid servants will follow her, right? So like that, if the bhakti is there with you, then queen is compared to bhakti, like that. All other attendants mean dharma, artha, kama, moksha, they will actually follow bhakti. So like that, we have examples from Shastra. We have Sudama. What does Sudama has? Out of these 4, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, you don't have anything. You have bhakti, right? Is fully,
Yes,
he is fully into remembering the Lord in his childhood and like that. And his wife encouraged him to ask for some Lakshmi or some boons from the Lord and send him. But Sudama has fully loving attitude, loving service mode to Krishna, nothing else, and he don't want to ask also. Even if you don't ask also, all the devotees who have bhakti in their heart, Krishna will give whatever is required for us to perform our bhakti. That's what he gave to Sudama, right? So he's got full of bhakti. And then now, if you think about Yudhishthira Maharaj, what does he has got?
Dharma, Mataji.
Dharma and bhakti also they have. But all other things will come to them. They don't need to extra endeavor for that. And then we have an example of Ambarish Maharaj. He has got everything. Lord gave, everything to him, like that. So if you see, devotees, whoever is, sadhakas, we all are practicing Krishna consciousness in ISKCON. What is that we are having? We have the pleasure of, every day, what do? We have the pleasure of eating Krishna Prasad. That is what we came to Krishna consciousness, isn't it? Control our tongue, eating Krishna Prasad. First thing is what? Everyone feed you prasadam only, right? To bring you to closer to Krishna. You feed.
Yes, yes.
No one of us would have known what is Rajbhog before, right? Before coming to
Yes.
Krishna consciousness, anyone knows what
Yes,
is
Mataji.
Rajbhog? Nobody.
Yes, Mataji.
We must have not heard about Lord Krishna also like that. Yeah. So Krishna is so kind like that, you don't need to personally endeavor for dharma, artha, kama, moksha. If you just have, bhakti in your heart, Krishna will give you everything. Just like, when we go to Puri Ratha Yatra, we see now all the pandas, they do lots of other spiritual activities. They dance also. They just perform every other, arati or offering bhoga, everything they do. When they get tired, what do? All the pandas who are there on different chariots, they have a place to sit next to the Lord, isn't it? So Lord allows them to sit on the same chariot. And Lord allows them to honor Rajbhog offered to him on the chariot only. And those devotees now they are completely taking shelter. Lord is not only giving them shelter, He's giving them prasadam also to them. And these devotees who are sitting on the chariot or doing these spiritual activities, they are praising each other, respecting each other, doing everything like that. So all the devotees who are into the activities while they're performing Krishna consciousness, they will be, mutually understanding, cooperating, sharing, and serving the Lord like that. Yeah. So we understand that when there is a bhakti, we don't need to especially endeavor. So bhakti is something which we all have to aim for. Yeah. So if you just, if you don't have happiness in our life, how the happiness will come? Only by bhakti. Just look at, can you see this one which I am sharing? This part, there's a difference between moksha, mukti, and bhakti. Can you see that?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So mukti is something which we give up our material body and we try to get our constitutional position. That's where we will get mukti. And then what is the thing we said other one? Moksha is something we are going from, this particular thing which you see the arrow, from suffering to we get peace. That means we are getting relief from the suffering and then going to the spiritual bliss. Like that. Let's say if there is a quarrel between wife and husband, there is a suffering, right? I'm just giving simple example so that we can relate it. Sometimes if it happens, so then, the wife and husband may stop talking or interacting and all that. But they may attain little bit peace by doing that particular activity, but they don't attain spiritual bliss, right? That will only stop them not arguing or quarreling or, keeping quiet is happening, but bliss is not coming to them. Bliss will come only when you start loving someone. Yeah. So that love aspect should be there, with, each and every one of us, so that we will get out of this bodily forms and get to our eternal constitutional position. So loving the Lord is most important aspect. Yeah. So now, is the happiness is only our motive? Yeah. What kind
No,
of
Mataji.
happiness? It's not our,
Serving
right?
God in loving association is our motive.
Yeah.
With this,
So like, Shuddha Bhakti is got, all other aspects also, like I said, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So like that. Yeah. So people who get Artha, they want to get what? Next, what do? They follow Dharma, and then after following Dharma, they want to get Artha, they get it. After Artha, they want to enjoy, Kama is there, and then there is a Moksha is there. These all aspects are there. But people who are, frustrated with all this, what will happen to them? When the Kama pleasures are, when no more pleasure is getting, they're frustrated and they seek Moksha. And then, but what we are talking about, this is beyond Moksha. What we want is beyond Moksha. So Krishna said also in Bhagavad Gita, right? Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati, right? So there is no service mood, means there is nothing, there is no loving exchanges. Happiness comes only when you please Krishna. Just like that, in the same example, if I revert it, like when husband comes from work and then wife is, managing things at home nicely, kept the house clean, and then, feed the prasadam on time, everything is happening. Husband is happy. There's no fighting, nothing. So that way, there is both is there. Happiness is there, peace is there, everything is there. So if you please that way, serve each other, then Krishna is happy, like that. So what happens with that? The example which we learned, there are two things, right? So like that, when the people whom you are serving becomes happy, then the jiva becomes happy. So our happiness comes by serving others. So like that, our happiness, eternal happiness, comes by pleasing the Lord. So that is our motive. So we should not actually, think about temporary happiness. I would say when, Prabhupada went to USA, all these Westerners, they're all hippies. Prabhupada made them happies. We all know, right? How they become happies? Just by pleasing Srila Prabhupada. What they did, they loved Prabhupada so much, they got attracted to Prabhupada's teaching so much that these hippies, they did everything without too much of, understanding. They just put, we have in Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, these particular incidences, they put, where before the class was starting, they put so much everywhere rug on the floor, and they have put deities pictures, and they made nice garlands and offered to the deities. They created nice asan for the Prabhupada for him to sit, and they have put so much of incense put in the room so that the whole room is getting some aromatic perfume and all like that. So Prabhupada was very pleased looking at their their devotional attitude. Yeah, so they progressed in their spiritual life just by learning and teachings of Srila Prabhupada, and they made Prabhupada happy and Krishna happy, like that. So this is how, we all get Bhakti Ladha Beach by, Guru's mercy, you will get. So then you will start watering with your chanting, reading Srila Prabhupada books, and then continuing your devotional service, like that. And then when the devotees are in that mood, they don't hanker or get for anything else. All they ask is, while they are chanting, is to engage in the service of the Lord, nothing else. Our happiness is, our motive is to just serve the Lord, nothing else, not to get any other material boons, like that. Yeah. So that is moksha laguta kruta. That means disregards our liberation. So anyone wants to read these 3 points?
May I, Mataji?
Yeah, please read.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandar Pranam, Mataji. In the Narad Panchatatra. Sorry.
I hear you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. In the Narad Panchatatra, it is also said that any person who has developed even a small amount of devotional service doesn't care a fig for any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, or the 5 kinds of liberation. Any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, liberation, or sense gratification cannot even dare to enter into the heart of a pure devotee. It is stated that as the personal attendants and maidservants of a queen follow the queen with all respects and obeisances. Similarly, the joys of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation follow the devotional service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so whatever I was discussing so far is just in these statements, and this is from the book, first chapter. I have taken from those paragraphs concerning happiness in Krishna consciousness. So some points which we can cover and try to understand this particular aspect, moksha lagutakrita. That means bhakti has got everything in it, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and
Is
no one
bhakti the pancham purushartha? Is bhakti the pancham purushartha?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So everything is there in that. And then, we see from prayers by Prithu Maharaj in Canto 4, this is what he prayed to the Lord. What he did, my dear Lord, you're the, I do not want any benedictions. I just don't, even a learned scholar will not ask any benedictions in this material world, because this material world is full of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And then what do I do with this material boons, like that? These automatically, such benedictions are available to not only to the living entities, but all other creatures in this material world. So what he's telling is that I don't want to, just like how Satyavratya Mani was praying, similarly, please bestow me. I don't want to, get any benediction from you. You said you can certainly bestow me merging into your existence, but I don't want to wish that moksha. I don't want that benediction. I don't want. Then Lord asked him. So then, you don't want to have any benediction of merging. Then there is why he asked Lord. Lord asked him, what do you want then? If you don't want that, what else you want? Then he says, the benediction, if I get moksha, the benediction which is there is nothing else there other than, I just, after some time I will be bored. I don't get anything there. So there is not existence of any of, according to the translation, you see, no existence of nectarian beverage is there. That, Krishna's lotus feet, whatever Krishna Katha has been discussed by the pure devotees, from their mouth, the utterance or emanating of the pastimes of the Lord, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, all that discussions are happening from the pure devotees, lotus mouth. That is like a nectar to the hearer. So this is what Pritha Maharaj is asking. I want a benediction of at least 1 million years, so that I can hear the glories of you from, of your lotus feet, from the mouths of your pure devotees. This is he is asking. He is not asking any moksha. He is asking to give, 1 million years to hear Krishna Katha. And that too from pure devotees who are realized. Like that. And then he says, in the association of such pure devotees, if I have got that 1 million years to hear your activities, then what else we need? So he does not want anything other than that. He is asking, hankering for association of the devotees. So intelligent person don't really, they care about taking association. They don't leave the association of the devotees. No intelligent person would be so careless to leave the association of the devotees. That's what he's telling. So the perfection of chanting, hearing glories of the Lord is the greatest fortune. Even goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, was also hankering to get association of the gopis. We know this pastime is there in 10th canto. She desired to, take the part in Rasalila. She desired to do that, but, desired to hear unlimited activities of the Lord, because even in her position, goddess of fortune, while massaging the lotus feet of the Lord, she is meditating and contemplating on the activities of the Lord. And she has a desire to hear the glories of the Lord like that and perform the, service of the Lord continuously like that. So Pritha Maharaj were also asking, in the association of the pure devotees who actually share Krishna Katha, I want to have those, millions of years so that I can hear the Krishna Katha. And then those, transcendental vibrations coming from those great devotees, he compared that it is carrying like aroma of the aroma of a saffron dust from the lotus feet of the Lord. So that, the living entities who are forgetting the relationship with the Lord, that will get awakened. So then devotees gradually come to the, understand the value of life like that. So he's telling, therefore, I don't want any other benediction, only just the opportunity here from the mouth of your pure devotees. Whatever he's asking. So that is what it is a means of moksha lagutakrata. That means we devotees don't derive happiness in anything from religious, economic development, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and all that. So they just want to get only to completely submerge in the activities of the Lord and perform loving devotional service. That way, that happiness derived from that is not comparable to those all other kinds of liberation someone is getting, according to Narada Pancharatra also. So anyone who has developed this, even a tinge or the minute percentage of this devotional service also, they don't anchor for this kind of 4 kinds of happiness through dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So they disregard liberation also. They don't want moksha also. They only want to serve the Lord. Like that. Yeah. So with that, I just completed those 2 sections. I hope it's clear. I'll stop sharing. And Prabhuji, you had some question, no? Before I'll share this book now. Maybe this you can see now clearly. I don't know. I'll share a picture of this so that you know what I'm talking about. This book. It's Bhakti Rasamrita Subodhini. Actually, it's a small book which has got like a guide. How we
I
have.
have my question in the chat. Shall I ask you, or because I have shared in the chat box?
Okay, I'll have a look, Prabhuji. I sometimes feel that temple resident life is ideal to advance in bhakti because for me, Maya attacks, what is that? Which performing while doing job. So in this case, work in devotion better than renunciation or joining temple for me. So, Prabhuji, so of course, you might look from outside, temple, people who are in the temple, residents of the temple are progressing in bhakti, but they have so much of responsibilities. Like what you think about your job, it was more than that. Because see, the temple where I serve, I see there are so many brahmacharis who gave their life to the temple. So many commitments they have. Sometimes they may hanker to do some preaching, but they don't have time to do because they have other things to do in the temple, the activities which are rostered for them. It could be either cooking in the kitchen or cleaning the temple premises or crowd handling or so many responsibilities. Special events happens, then they have to plan so much. So it's not so easy to say that people who are in temple or residing in temple can advance in bhakti. There is no hard and fast rule like that. And now, then Prabhupada has given Varnashram Dharma to us. So there are Brahmacharya ashram is there, Gruhastha ashram is there, Vanapastha ashram is there, Sannyasi ashram is there. So according to our personal situations and commitments, we should perform our duties and stay in that ashram and do your duties accordingly. So Krishna will be pleased. Like Arjuna is a family man and he actually didn't want to fight. He wanted to run away from the battlefield and don't want to fight. And he has gave some 5 reasons not fighting also. But Krishna instructed him to be in the position and don't escape from your duties. As a Kshatriya Dharma, you have to fight. And Arjuna became as an instrument only, served the Lord, and then he became successful because he listened to Krishna's instructions. So I would say, Prabhu, you should take proper guidance and mentoring from whoever is looking after you locally. You have to.
My question is not that. Means what my question is that Maya is attacking a lot while doing job, and Krishna says in 5th chapter 2nd verse means work in devotion is better than renunciation of work. Means the temple people have renunciated their work and they are in temple. So for me, Maya is attacking a lot. So how can I do bhakti? That is my question.
Okay. That's good. Now I understood. Sorry, Prabhu. I thought you want to leave your situation and go and join in temple. I'm so sorry. So yeah, if you are in that situation, Prabhu, we all are in the same position. Maya is alluring every one of us. But if you are, as long as, when you are working, if you have an access to if you're in a sitting job where you can sit in front of a laptop, make sure you can put some screensavers of pictures of the Lord, or make sure when you have, anything, you can connect it to Krishna in a way that Maya will not come closer to you. So Maya is only shadow of Krishna. As long as you keep checking yourself that, small booklet you can keep with you. Like this kind of books. This is also again sloka books which we have, small books. I'll share this also, where you can just read when you have and keep some, pictures of the Lord in your desktop or, or in on your computer desk, or while going here, hearing, Mahamantra or hearing to some lectures or some kirtans. Maya will not attack you if you do use your time like that. I hope you are doing all that. Eat only Krishna Prasad every day.
Yes,
Don't eat outside a restaurant prasadam or, going to any places outside. And do your chanting in the morning before you go to work if you can, few rounds, or if you want to do everything, which is all good. That's good to do. That way Maya will not touch you at
because
all.
we devotees are fighting against Maya. All devotees are fighting against Maya. She's the energy of Krishna, especially meant to delude us. That's the main reason. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but one thing you have to remember, Prabhu, if you are taking the Lord's name and trying to remember the Lord, always remembering Krishna, never forgetting, if you are doing this throughout your day, Maya will not come to you at all. It will actually, your day will be more peaceful and easily you can go through your daily activities than a normal other person. And other person sometimes get astonished or surprised that how you could do these many multitasking things that I can't do like that, you know. So I also work, Prabhu, and if I say my schedule to anybody, where you will get this kind of energy, they would say. I would say it's no energy. Using time properly, then Maya is not alluring you so that you feel yourself not too much tired or lethargic or things like that. No. So Krishna will give you that. If you take full shelter of Krishna, he will give you that, and he will always make an arrangement for you so that Maya will not come to you. Actually, Maya never touch or go around people who are chanting Maha Mantra or remembering Krishna, eating Krishna Prasad and preaching others or reading Srila Prabhupada books. Now you are hearing. If you are feeling like that, that means Krishna is trying to inspire you to do more and more of devotional things so that Maya will not come to you.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Thank you very much,
I have a
Mataji.
question, Mataji. I have a question, Mataji. A short question.
Mataji,
Yes,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, yeah. We have to
Mataji,
stop, Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji,
Mataji.
one
So we can
question,
wait for
one
next.
short question.
No, Mataji,
Okay,
please, you can put it in the group. So sorry.
Okay.
Because one
Okay,
more Mataji is waiting. If I end only, she can open for next Kanda session, Mataji.
No problem, Mataji. So I hope Prabhu is happy with whatever I answered. And Mataji, please, you can share your question and I try to answer if I can.
Mataji, what I want to know is, I want you to explain properly what is mukti. Mukti, yes. Moksha, I know, but mukti, I want to understand.
Mukti is beyond, like, if you're, little bit, if you want to just do something which is for the pleasure of the Lord, only nothing else. Yeah?
Okay, Mataji. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, so thank you so much. I'm ending this session, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. I'm so sorry, devotees. If you
No
have any
problem,
questions,
Mataji.
you can put it in the
No
group.
problem.
Very wonderful
Yeah.
session. Thank you so much, Mataji.